Sadgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mriturma Amritam Gamaya Abir Maidhi Rudro Jakte Dakshinam Mukham Te Namang Pahi Nityam Te Namang Pahi Nityam Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Lead us from the unreal to the real. Lead us from darkness to light. Lead us from death to immortality. And evermore shine in our hearts with thy resplendent face. Om peace, peace, peace be unto us all. So we are on the chapter 9, and it was dedicated to understanding the meaning of the self, Atmanirupan. And talking about Atman and its glory, we are on page 280. And we have read the verse number 17. That Atman we know, Atman is always pure, stainless. Atman is beyond time, space, causation. This we are reading every day. And that is the way Atman manifests in the heart of the realized souls. So, it says that as space, last verse we read, what is the Atman? It is a space which exists uninterrupted and clear as crystal, becomes visible. Likewise, the Supreme Self, which is the nature of consciousness, is experienced as the interspersed in every object. So, the knower of truth, they can see these objects they see, but it is not only the object, like a space is everywhere, they see the consciousness permeates everywhere, every nooks and corners, it is filled with that consciousness. So, that is the object. That object does not disappear, a knower of truth when he comes back from the experience. But what happens? His vision changes. He finds that one all-pervaded consciousness, like the space, that reality everywhere, interpenetrating inside and outside. So, it is, this verse continues with the idea that what is the nature of Atman? It is Atman is, whole world is nothing but Satchidananda and name and form. But no one is here, so I can see it in the blank. I can't blank. I cannot see in the blankness. It is done. This verse is very straightforward. It says that 5 things are in the world. First is Sat, Chit, Ananda. Existence, consciousness, bliss. And then is name and a form. We say this is called the table, this is called the bulb, this is called the wall. We are giving name and form. According to name there is a form. But it is all Satchidananda. So 5 materials we see together. Asti Bhati Priya, Sat Chit Ananda, plus name and form. If name and form is dissolved, what remains? Sat Chit Ananda. Like space. Space and the wall. You break the wall, what remains? It's only the space. Huh? There was empty space. We say, oh, empty space. And they are building a big house. No? And big house is built, then you say, oh, this room is 20 by 10. This is the space. That is the internal space. But can you divide this space 10 by 20, 30 by 100, 1 mile by 20 mile, or 1,000 mile or million mile? No. It is all, everywhere, it is the only space. So, Asti Bhati Priyang Rupam, Asti Bhati and Priyo, Sat Chitananda, and Priyo Rupam and Namam. Rupam is a form and the name. Always there is a form means there is a name. Name is there means form is there. Is it not? We cannot separate out. You cannot have a form and no name. If someone comes, a form comes, and you don't know what you say, who is he? Where did he come from? Oh, I never saw him. See? That means you are not recognizable in the world. So you should have to have name added with a rupa. There are so many varieties of flowers in the garden. If I say, oh, what is this flower? If I do not know the name of that particular brand of flower, then I cannot recognize, differentiate. So in the world of differentiation, this world of our existence, it is 5 things are there. Asti Bhati Priya, Satchidananda, the fundamental reality, and name and form. Now, Adyatrayam, we'll talk later on. Adyatrayam Brahma Rupam, the very first thing, Asti, Bhati and Priya, Sat, Chit, Ananda, existence, consciousness, bliss. These 3 first things are Brahma Rupam. That is Brahman. That is all the time there. And now you add name and form. In the ocean, water remains all the time, ocean water. But when air flows over the surface and it gets ripples, bubbles, foam, big, small wave, big wave, no? So these are coming and going. But the ocean water remains all the time. So that is the thing. Jagadrupo Tatodayam. We see this Jagat world, its form is 2. What are the 2? Name and form. So this world is nothing but name and form. You go to the goldsmith shop. There all the ornaments are gold. But difference between this ornament and that, is only name and form. Some is for using in the neck, some is for the hand, some is for the ring in the fingers. So they are different because of the name and the form. But in essence, they are all what is called the Satchidananda, there is the gold. Similarly, our ancient examples are there. Pots and pans. People used to do before earthen pitchers, earthen water jar, earthen plate. They used to eat one time when civilization is progressing. So now it is all mud or all earth, only the different name and form. But it is earth is the fundamental element. This is the foundational thought of Vedanta. So all the visible objects are essentially comprised of the parts, 3, existence, manifestation and love, name and form. Out of these, the first 3 characteristics, exists or being, manifestation or knowledge, love or bliss, constitute the essential nature of Brahman. That means that is called Brahman. And Brahman is there, Brahman was there, Brahman will be there. So you cannot take out that any time. But this name and form can be there sometime, cannot be there, may not be there. A person we see, we call he is dead. And when he is dead, he is put to cremation. What happens? Space remains space. But the body, name and form, that only dissolves. And then what remains? That remains, that which cannot be changed. That is the Brahman. And this happens because a name and roop form is called Maya. Swami Vivekananda has defined this. Maya is what? Maya is that which you see, you feel. You are seeing what? You are seeing name and form. So this is Maya, name and form. So any object to be known have the 5 components then, as we have just discussed. For example, in an object like pot, the pot is the name, round shape is the form, then pot is there, no? When you say is, that is the existence part. Not only it is, it manifests before your consciousness, no? That is the conscious aspect. It pleases you or displeases you. If the pot is there, you like that, then you will be happy. If you don't like, you will be unhappy. That means it is the love aspect. Less love is hatred, is it not? What is the definition of love and hate?
You can't have the indifferent feeling. It doesn't matter.
Let us come very logical. What is love and what is hatred? Love is that what your heart says, I am liking. I like it. No? I like more. I love more. I am more. I like more. My mind, when it gets this side, you can love it. Same mind, I don't like it. Don't like it. But the object is there. You may not like it. Another person may like. For you it may be not joyful, but another person joyful. One is rejected by one, another is very happy to have it. So, love and hatred are not two opposite. It is they call one aspect, that is ananda. Less ananda, I don't like. More ananda, I like it. That's why it is the same. 3 things are there. If you think this book is here, you call it book. Book has a name, book has a form. Okay? But book is there. It's called the sat, existence part. Book is not only there, it is revealed to me, consciousness. So I see the book. So it is consciousness aspect. And it gives me joy. Oh, this book is very good, I like it. But this book I don't like. So whether like or dislike, there is some touch of that joy, which is called bliss aspect. When my mind gets tuned to that joy, and I like it, then I say, I love it. And when that same thing is not liked by my mind, it goes, but there is ananda or joy. There is ananda and joy everywhere. But our mind does not resonate. Our mind resonates where our eyes feel pleasurable, our ears feel pleasurable. So this is the way how to analyze that. Every day we can analyze Atman this way. This is a very practical lesson. How to meditate on God, how to think about Atman. What is Atman? You are dealing with Atman every moment. You see any object, a harmonium, there is a harmonium. Just one word. What is harmonium? Harmonium, there is a name, harmonium. As soon as harmonium, we know there are reeds, there are bellows, and you pump, it will create some note and tune, no? And it has a shape, different shape, this is one shape. So name and form is there. But additional, we know there is, isness. The harmonium is. That's the isness. Harmonium manifests. It is not non-existent. So it exists, not only exists, it is revealed to me, conscious aspect. And I like harmonium. No, I like other instrument rather than this. So likes and dislikes, that is the ananda part. So these are the 3 things everywhere in all objects. Can you analyze while you walking, seeing things? That's a Vedanta practice.
What if the object is a picture of an incarnation or
Yeah, same,
sage?
same.
Does that object differs or is
The same thing, suppose a photograph of Ramakrishna.
Yeah.
Okay, what is that? First you say it is a photograph. The photograph means a name, and there is a form. And now I like this photograph. It is there, you cannot deny. The photo is in the frame or photo is there. So it is, and then it is revealing to you. You see that, you feel that, you experience that, and you like it or dislike it. Some those who are devotees of orthodox devotees of one type of religious practice, they don't entertain other deities there. No, Hare Krishna Vaishnava devotees, they like Krishna only. But if you put another image, they may not enjoy that. So that means, but they are bound to accept it is there. It is manifesting, and it is either source of joy or not joy. And less joy is called our disliking, more joy is our liking. So the question is that more or less is our mind's function. But three things are there: Vasti, Bhati, Priyo. Existence, appearance or consciousness, manifestation, and Ananda, joy. Plus name and form. So everything we see in the world is name and form. That means you seeing Brahman. ঠিক আছে? কিছু মনে হচ্ছে? It is not right? What's the problem?
But can you do it in that way? Because if you want to only see Asti Bhati Priya existed, so now that the flower example you gave, the name is a flower. It's not that I'm not.
No, quickly come to the conclusion. Question.
So if I want to practice it in that way, that I want to negate this name and form, so I just see that something is there. Doesn't matter. Something is there.
Yeah.
I don't want to name it. First I negate
Quick,
the
quick,
name
quick,
and
quick,
then
quick.
I
Don't
name
take
it.
time much. Quickly.
Yeah. So then, if I don't put the name, how can you relate it that I like
That's why you, in the relative level, that's why world, when we live in the world, then we are in the name and form. That is the conclusion of this verse. So you live in the world, but you see God in name and form. Simple formula. You see the same thing, only name and form. Satchidananda, same, only with this form or that form, and this name or that name. But if you can eradicate name and form, that means you have to go to Samadhi. Where
Then
name
I
and
think this also
everything will go away. Who will say then Satchidananda? That's also will go away. But the question is that so long we live in the duality, we live with Satchidananda, with name and form. If it enters into your heart, then every moment you can think that you are with the Atman only. Because I am living in the duality. But if the duality collapses by your internalizing the truth, no, then you see the name and form. Then you say, no. The name and form is not important, it is existing. And not only it is existing, it is of the nature of manifestation. It is shining nature. And it is not only that, it is a source of joy or our suffering. But Vedantic joy and suffering are same. So long my mind likes it, I say I am excited with this. It does not like, I subdue it. So this is the idea. It's a very realistic meditation or practice. It is Vedantic way of thinking. By analyzing this way, if we can get out of the name and form, then what will remain? Satchidananda will. That's why Kathopanishad declares that Osti iti eva upalabdhabhyo tattva bhavena chaubhayo. Osti iti eva upalabdhasya tattva bhava prasidati. So you first start. It is all name and form Satchidananda. And emphasize on the it is there. Do you deny? The table is there. You cannot deny. Your Brahman and Atman not necessary. But a gross eye, table is there. You say is, I-S, these two words. There is floor is there. The sky is there. Sun is there. Moon is there. Stars are there. It's existence. That Upanishad teaches, you first start here. that you cannot deny it is void. In between space, that's why space is there. So you cannot conceive of zero, void. Void means what? Space. But space is not void. It is something is there. So you go on thinking, is there, is. And osti iti eva upalabdhasya. If you have practiced that and you feel there is really, God is there. We are searching for God everywhere and finding nowhere. But Vedanta says you are touching God. You hit God. This is God. This is God. In name and form. This you call the finger, hand. This is called the wood, table. It is name and form. Name and form. And action going on in the name and form. But is there. It is there. Everywhere. Isness. And try to feel that isness. Flower is there. Plant is there. Trees are there. The building is there. Bookstore is there. The whatever. The bricks are there, stones are there. So is. You cannot think of anything. Even dream. You see, something, I was there. I dreamt. Is there. Isness is there.
So someone is asking, so is observation the key?
We'll go to the questions later on because it will disturb. Keep the question, I will respond later on. In this way, every object is comprised of these 5 parts. Every object is comprised of these 5 parts. Think this way every day from now. What you see first a name and a form. But when you see name and form, you cooked rice, you say rice. You may like rice, some say, I don't like rice, I like quinoa. You like quinoa, you like rice, that is different issue. But there is, some name is there, which is called rice, some name is there, quinoa. And now, you like that, dislike that. That is the second part, name and form, that is the form and shape. But you cannot deny it, rice is there, quinoa is there. Isness is common in everywhere.
The name is rice and name is quinoa, or the name is food?
If you generalize it is called food, then distinction is going away, you are going to oneness. But that is not the point here, discussion. Here discussion is that you live in the duality and multiplicity. But to everywhere you see it is isness, is. You live in the whole diversity, millions of diversity. But in this diversity you can see oneness. Isness is universal. Today in the peace parade, there are about 10,000 people. Each one is individual, protesting in their own way. But can we not say John was there, Jacob was there, is 10,000 if I know all the names and their forms, no? Can I not say? John was there, Jacob was there, your Myron was there, Mark was there, whatever name you give, name and particular form. But is, generalized. 10,000 is was there. 10,000 IS, quote. So similarly, that is the diversity. And in diversity you can see oneness. That's a way of going towards Vedantic concept. From many to one. In this way, every object is comprised of the 5 parts, the 3 components, existence, manifestation, and love, are interspersed in every object and are omnipresent. The supreme truth, the absolute substratum, and the self of the nature of existence, consciousness, bliss. The transitory worldly existence, illusion of name and form are imagined on the very self which is of the nature of existence. There is only Satchidananda. You are only putting some misconception, name and form. Because without that, our transactional world will not work. Day-to-day transaction, If you want to give something, oh, give me a spoon. You ask spoon, no? Oh, you missed a spoon to give. You ask for spoon means immediately you have a name and form. And you, transactional universe, vyavaharika jivan in life, in day-to-day life, you need that name and form, otherwise you cannot function. If you are asking something and you cannot express what you want, so will you get that thing? Suppose you are serving or you're doing. I say, hey, give that, this, that, and I'm fumbling on my words. Will you give me any food? You say, what? What shall I give you? That means you are asking for one name. And you know that name has a form. If I cannot express, then you will be there, food will be there, but you cannot, non-communication. For communication itself, we have to have name and form. But if you go to the non-communicational Brahman state, that the duality vanishes. So you go to oneness. First you go to the isness, then you feel that this bulb is shining consciousness, and bulb is, go, touch it, heat. You cannot feel the heat here, but heat here is also there. From there to here, the heat, intensity of heat reduces. But you cannot say it is not here. It is also there. But to go close, you touch it. In samadhi, you touch it, then you become absorbed in ananda. That's why when we do spiritual practice, we go from diversity to oneness. And there you have to, but you live in the world, you need name and form, forgetting Satchidananda. See the foolishness what we are doing. We are dealing with Satchidananda with name and form, but we are seeing only the name and form, not the Satchidananda. And the realized soul, what happens? She goes all beyond they see the name and form, but they see also the made of Satchidananda. So they see Satchidananda there, Satchidananda is the gap, Satchidananda in this name and form, and it is everywhere Satchidananda. It is many experiencing the consciousness, awareness of that, and it is of the form of joy. That's why as one goes internally, say first go beyond name and form. Then he comes to the isness of Brahman. Then he comes to the consciousness of Brahman. Then they feel the joy, and get absorbed, we call samadhi. And when the samadhi, look at Ramakrishna, his hand is up, and see the face, bursting with joy. There is no expression of anything but joy and joy and joy. So this is the verse number 17. Now, 18th verse. Bahirantah spurajyotihi Bahirantah spurajyotihi Antah kumbha pradipavat Antah kumbha pradipavat Saprakashat jathaivaikam Saprakashat jathaivaikam Sarupam Atmana statha Sarupam Atmana statha. So, this is a good example. Je Jyoti Saprakaso Ratnakumbha Pradipavat Bahi Antaspuranam. So, suppose you keep a vessel, earthen pitcher or something, and put one jewel inside. So you can see the light inside. So, through its innate power of manifestation and remaining on page 282, running meaning, through its innate power of manifestation and remaining always in its original form, the radiance of a lamp placed inside a pitcher made of jewels, clear crystal, illumines the inside and the outside of it. Now, you think of a container, that jewel, if you keep hidden, jewel will shine inside. No? So, through its innate power, it has its own power. What is the power? Power as shining nature, shining. So, Atman is shining nature. So, they are giving the example of a jewel. and remaining always in that form. It does not change. The jewel, you keep it on the table or inside a pitcher. It will shine all the time. So Atman is always shining, but it is covered by name and form. So he says, through the innate power of manifestation, his power is there, of manifestation, Satchidananda, remaining always in its original form. It remains, it does not get changed. The radiance of a lamp which is placed inside a pitcher made of jewels or the clear crystal illumines the inside and the outside of it. It can illumine inside and outside. Similarly, that means the pitcher should be, you have to think, pitcher should be a clear pitcher. That means it is not a earthen pitcher or metallic pitcher, but it is a crystal or glass pitcher, you can think. So you can see the light, it illumines the light inside and it illumines the outside also. Similarly, remaining always in its own unchanged form, the Satchidananda Atman, no? The self. This is the self, we are talking about the self. This chapter talks about self. So remaining always unchanged. The self does not change. It remains the same, as the jewel does not change. And its light is not borrowed light, it has its own innate light. Like the sun. Sun remains sun. Remaining sun intact, its illumination is manifested everywhere. And you don't need another energy to supply it. So, similarly, the Atman, remaining always in its own unchanged form, the real nature of self also illumines. It illumines what? Inside and outside. No? It illumines inside means, what are the inside, 5 coverings? Ego covering, buddhi covering, intellect covering, mind covering, prana, vital energy covering, and then physical body. So it is shining. That's why you see, my mind is alert, my intellect is I. My understanding, my ego, my pranic energy, all are manifested because the consciousness is inside, which is hidden like a pitcher. Think of a pitcher. The body is a pitcher. And the consciousness is the jewel. That is Satchidananda. Asti Bhati Priya. It is here. It does not need any light. No electric connection is in our body. When you unplug, it is not plugged with the power line. But there is, see, you are sitting there, we are all sitting, we are all functioning. Where is the energy coming? Who is giving the supply? Everything needs some supply, otherwise it cannot function. So, it is inside Swayam Jyoti. It is self-luminous. Asti Bhati Priya. The manifestation is spontaneous manifestation. And now, it is illumining inside in its own brightness and also illumining the internal 5 coverings. And also, I am seeing you outside. Outside is also manifested to me because of that same Satchidananda consciousness. That means the consciousness which is in us is manifesting the inner personality, as also it is bringing out the truth, what is outside universe. In and out. Why in and out? Again, there is no in and out in Brahman. But because we live in duality, in ignorance, name and form, so there is duality. I and you. So that's why it is its unchanged form. The real nature of the self also illumines the mind and the like inside and all of the objects outside as well. So it illumines inside. That's why I know my mind is, oh, my mind is upset today. Oh, I'm happy today. How do you know? Because there is the conscious light inside. Without that, dead body does not say, I like it, I dislike it. It's too much cold, it is too hot. It does not say anything because there is no, all the five koshas which are now functioning, they are all illumined by the light of the inner light, the jewel. The internal, compare a pitcher, inside is lighted. Huh? And if it is a glass pitcher, then it penetrates outside also, and that allows to see outside also. So that light penetrates everywhere. Note says that manifestation of the lamp placed inside a clay pitcher remains confined only within. That's why they have put that. Its luminosity cannot come out. That has happened with us. It is covered with ignorance, tamasa quality, darkness. It is a earthen pitcher. So light is restricted inside. Light cannot come out. That is why the example of transparent crystal pitcher has been given. Understand? If someone gives otherwise, the example is useless. That's why I told you glass pitcher. That means then it can see inside and outside. That's why the Brahmagyanis can see inside, see outside. Ramakrishna used to say, if I look at someone, I can see what is in your mind, what is your inmost thought even. All. Because Atman connection, he knows from the inner light, illumining all the five courses. No? And outside is outside. So for them everything is revealed. For us everything is all ignored or all dull. We do not know what we are and what is outside.
We call only God Antarjami, but we don't call all the Brahmagyanis Antarjami.
There is a different name they call Jivan Muktas. So that's why it is not. Meaning that Jivan Mukta means what? That's why in the second chapter of the Bhagavad Gita you call Sthita Prajna. These are names again. But what they mean? Antarjami also. All are not Antarjamis depending on how much deep you are. Anyhow, so the question is that, think, this is also good meditation. Think that you are like a pitcher made of crystal, the glass, no? And there is a self-luminous jewel inside. Just first imagine this way, as if only self-luminous, that's the individual soul. But then it will be individual soul and cosmic soul will be merging. That will be later on. But start thinking every day that you are sitting for meditation. You are like a crystal, made of crystal. And inside is that self-luminous Sat Chit Ananda. And then it is percolating through every realities of your personality. Ego, mind, panchakoshas, 5 sheets. And it is illumining everything and it is penetrating the outside, the body. Whatever you see, it is lighted by the light of that same light. So inside and outside, it is all the same conscious light. This, taking help of this to think that there is no internal, there is no external. If the wall of the vessel, pitcher, is broken, then what happens? That only that light remains everywhere. This wall of the pitcher is what? I, who is one name, another I, another I, another I, another I. Each pitcher is different, no? But the same jewel is everywhere. Think about that. And break all the jars, what will remain? The light, all light inside and outside are one. That's why Aham Brahmasmi, it becomes like that. So this is a wonderful idea that power of manifestation, power of shining, it is in the original form, radiance. It is Satchidananda is inside as, and then it is the self-shining. It does not need anyone's help. And it helps us to know our own inner personality as also the outside personality. Everyone doing that, but not knowing how it is happening. Now, 19th verse continues. How the self manifests the objects, now it is being described here. Darpane bimbito hi arkaha, darpane bimbito hi arka, prakasham kurute yatha, prakasham kurute yatha, tatha prakashayati atma, tatha prakashayati atma, swachadhishu anubimbitaha, swachadhishu anubimbitaha. So, darpane bimbito hi arka. Darpan means the mirror, and arka means the sun. Just imagine the sun is in the sky, and you are holding a mirror. What will happen? There will be reflection inside. No? Darpane bimbito hi arka. Prakasham kurute jata. As it shines, manifests. It's a brighter manifestation, is it not? You take a piece of pitchboard and put before the sun. Its reflection is dull. You take a mirror, Belgium glass, put it like that, shining bright. Tatha prakashayati atma. Then the same Atman, Atman is like the sun. Its prakashayati means manifests. Swacha dhishu. Dhi, whose brain or understanding is swacha. Swacha means clean. Like a mirror. Not dirt and dust. If dirt and dust, reflection will be light. No reflection. Huh? Suppose one mirror you bring and fill the top with mud and put it before the sun. How much reflection you will find? Sun reflected. Now, you clean that. Swacha. Swacha means cleaning. Pure. And purify the clay outside and then put it before the sun. What will happen?
It will reflect perfectly.
Yeah, it will. So that's why spiritual life is to purify our mind, purify our intellect. As it can be purified, perfectly purified, Atman will shine forth. And that's the holy people and unholy people. Unholy people means mind is cluttered, mind is negative, understanding is wrong, complicated, complex. Therefore the manifestation is complex or it does not happen. But when these are cleaned, you see, all the saints of the world speak the same language. Because there shines the inner light, the sun. It is giving, two examples are given. One is given from internal side. Another example is given from external side. The first example is given in a picture and the Atman is inside. Understand? And now what he's saying? The sun is there and here the manifestation. It is like external sun and mind is the mirror. Mind is clouded, so you don't see the shining nature of the sun. But when the mind is clear, you see your inner, every pore of your body will be shining with joy and bliss. So this is the two ways of thinking. So the sun being reflected on an untainted mirror illumines the mirror as well as all the objects that are manifested by it. Yeah, have you played with that mirror? Huh? You can put the mirror on someone's face. He gets puzzled. But his face brightens, no? The shining nature becomes double reflection. Sun's reflection on the mirror, and then put the mirror's reflection on somebody. So this reflection then shines everything brightly. That means it shows the shining nature of the sun itself, as it were. So they see the shining nature everywhere, because the reflection is coming from this side and it is reflected on this. The Brahmagyanis, that's why they see the God, they see the shining nature, Ananda nature consciousness. Ramakrishna used to see the consciousness everywhere. Huh? One man is walking on the grass and he is crying out. One was walking on the boot, with a boot, and walking over the pain of the grass, he is feeling. The two boatmen were in fight, and someone slapped very heavily on the other. And Ramakrishna was standing on the bank of the river, Ganga, and it is happening in the middle of the river. No one sees that. And Sri Ramakrishna cried out. And Hridayaram came and found that the 5 marks of that slap on the back of Ramakrishna. So, you see, that reflection, this reflection, that reflection, one. Their division between this body and that body goes away. The mind is clean, the darpan, the mirror, so that the mirror of the heart may be wiped clean with the every day, so that the mirror of the heart may be wiped clean and quench that mighty forest fire, worldly lust, raising furiously within. So, clean. And then it becomes, the sun being reflected on an untainted mirror. What it does? It illumines the mirror, that individual heart. Here the mirror is the mind, your pure mind. As well as all the objects. Not only that, we see the world through the mind. Can you see the world without the mind? You cannot see, you cannot hear, you cannot touch, you cannot taste, if the mind is not there. Mind is the boss there. Mind connects, then it will function. All the senses can work with the help of mind only. If the mind is absent, your senses are useless. Your eyes are looking, if your mind is thinking something else, if someone, hey, did you see Mark went this way? Mark went that way, but you'll say, no, I don't know. Why don't you know? The ray of light came from Mark's body and fell on your retina and all the perception went. But the boss, you are engaged in phone, another phone, engaged tone. So he didn't perceive that experience. So this is the outside objects also that are manifested by it. In a similar manner, the self also is being reflected in a pure intellect and illumines all the sense objects. See? 2 examples. Did you understand? One is from the internalizing idea, thinking that jewel, self-luminous jewel, and these are 5 coverings are there, all the cleaned, then the inner light, self-effulgent light, shines to penetrating, and then because it is pure, the jar is made of what you call crystal, that light percolates outside and you can see everything as light. And now this example, that is the self as it were, reflected on my mind, and that mind, when it is perfectly clean, its shining nature comes over here, mind becomes alert. Ramakrishna's mind, think about that. Vivekananda's mind, Vivekananda's intellect. Why so bright and brilliant? Why we are so dull? Because there is dirt and dust is there. And when it is clean, it will shine not only inside. You see the sun reflected in the mirror itself, is it not? Imagine a mirror and see the sun reflected. Don't you see a reflected sun? And not only that, that reflection also bounces back. And you can just move the mirror any direction, it shines double. Original sun's rays are illumining everything, no? And then it is another light falls over there, double reflection. So you see the brightest manifestation of the Atman everywhere. So the enjoyment of the sense objects or the manifestation of the sense objects by the self occurs like this. So whether we enjoy this world or whatever, it happens thus. What is this? This verse, Brihadaranya Bhartika, being associated with poison in the form of ignorance, the very knowledge that arises out of the essential nature of the self becomes gross in the intellect and so forth, which later on, expanding outwardly, manifests the sense objects. Thus, being separated from the self, ignorance fully emerges along with knowledge. So, being associated with poison in the form of ignorance is the poison for us. Eh? Ignorance has clouded everything. It is not allowing me to see the inner jewel inside, because mind and buddhi, intellect, ego are all so dull, and so much dirt is collected there, the light does not come out. Like a earthen pitcher. You put the jewel, but you don't see that there is a jewel at all. Therefore, that's the ignorance. Ignorance is like a poison. The very knowledge that arises out of essential nature of the self, that spontaneous light which comes out of it, becomes gross in the intellect and so forth. When it comes to the mind, intellect, ego, it is a gross. That's a gross manifest. This universe comes. If the mind is clean, then it will show finer things, subtler things. I can see through the eyes something. If I put a microscope, I can see further. So it is cleaning the mind means it has the penetrating thing. That's why the knowers of truth, they see much deeply things. What we see, they see much more. So self becomes gross in intellect and so forth. When it comes to the intellect is gross intellect, which later on expanding outwardly, which gradually expanding outwardly, manifests the sense objects. So when it comes out, it sees the objects outside the sense objects. Eyes with the object, ear with the sound, nose with the smell, tongue with the food, skin with the touch. These objects you can understand. Therefore, thus being separated from the self, ignorance fully emerges along the knowledge. So that's why it becomes all gross. All these gross objects come because of the pollution of mind, and it is like a poison. Ignorance or avidya or maya is like a poison. It contaminates Satchidananda. Understand? As poison contaminates the food, so food poisoning, and that kills the person. So similarly, this poison of ignorance has killed us, and it has taken us, we are every day frightened what will happen, what this virus will do, what this is going on, what will happen tomorrow. All these uncertainties, because this is a poison of ignorance. So how to get out of ignorance? Think that you are the self. And self is self-luminous. This Atman is self-luminous. And it will manifest in its own glory. It will enlighten your inner personality. It will enlighten the external objects of senses also. So I almost ended. 5 minutes, 2-3 minutes are there. You have to give the question. I'll see.
If the context was you were talking about the everything is 5 things, name, form, and Satchidananda, in that context she asks.
So give me that, I will read.
So is observation the key?
Yes, it is.
That's all. So is objective question.
Discuss consciousness easily. Acha. So is observation the key? Observation the key. Meaning how we see, that is the key point. What you are asking that question. There is a question. So is observation the key? How we observe, is this the key? The question is that, yes, you can say vichar, by the discriminative eye, if we see something in a gross way, but you analyze, what am I seeing? That critical analysis. Am I seeing the wood? Or am I seeing only the table? Or am I seeing the existence on the form of table? Existence in the form of a floor. So this observation is the key. It can unfold. Yes, if you can take rightly, you can observe. But we observe only the name and form. We don't observe that isness aspect, manifesting aspect, or the pleasing or displeasing aspect. So that's why, yes, in one sense that is very true, that so is observation. That should be the key, and that whole spiritual life is to improve our observations. How we look at the world and how we want to look at the world. We want to look at the world as a matter, but here we are saying that observe the world as Satchidananda consciousness. And that is the key point.
Another question is on the computer.
And discuss consciousness. As consciousness, it is not the question of discussion. We all understand that we are conscious means we are aware. I see you, I am conscious of you. I have a pain internally. I am conscious of my pain. So, we live on consciousness only. From morning till night, we sleep, we eat, we are all in consciousness only. Because I am sleepy. Is it not? You are saying I am sleepy. You are conscious about the sleep. That's why body, I cannot do anything, my body wants rest. Thale, consciousness is at the back of everything. I am hungry. Is it not your awareness or your consciousness that you are hungry? So in that way also you can think. All our activities. I look at you. I am looking at it. Am I not, through this look, I am conscious about you? Am I not conscious about my eyes? So consciousness is the foundation. I am talking. If there is no consciousness, dead body will not stop. So there is some consciousness. And also, forget about that. I am aware that I am talking. That awareness. So consciousness, awareness, these are all synonym words. You can use it either one way or the other way. One way you can see consciousness is the essence, foundational. If you say consciousness is the absolute, unchanging thing, then it is Satchidananda, consciousness. And awareness, our sense awareness. I sense food, I sense breathing, I sense hearing. So everything is consciousness. So consciousness, we live, we breathe, we eat, we talk, we fight, we love, we hate. Everything is consciousness. Eh? Computer has one question. Does practicing silence clean the mind? How do we strive to clean the mind every single day? Yes, that is a big question, no? That, yes, that practicing silence. But we cannot be silent because mind will run. Yes, if we can be silent perfectly, then it will be. We will be able to understand that if we practice silence. Silence means what? Don't allow your mind to be disturbed. That means let the mind be calm. Then only silence. Otherwise mind will start chattering. It will chatter this, chatter that. I want to do that. I go there, I see there, I fight with somebody in the mind, in meditation. We have a good talk in meditation. What is the discussion going on? I finished, half finished, and meditation time I am talking to that person. So mind is not silent. So silence, yes, silence you can say, silence is, practicing silence is good. But how do we strive to clean the mind means, that is, if you are a Vedanta student, how to clean the mind? Mind is full of dust and dirt of what? World and worldliness. So, what is dirt? The world is real. And God, I do not know. Where is God? This is so real. So this is the problem of the mind. So how to clean the mind? This appearance is name and form. We read today. I am seeing this, it is there, but it is not absolute truth. It is there, but it is actually existence. Osti. It is not only existence, I see it is shining, there is the pews. And not only that, I like these pews, I don't like this design. Ananda, joy, bliss. So these three are there. If we can analyze this way, mind will be clean. Mind will get out of his wrong conceptions. Or devotional, we are devotional, oh Lord, please help me. Think of God. If you think of God, God is all pure. Thinking of Him, our mind's impurities will be washed away. They say, cry before God. Ramakrishna said, everyone cries for world and worldly things. Who cries for God? So you cry, that's also will be able to clean the dirt of the mind. Meditation. Meditation means your impure mind, you are trying to think of Ramakrishna. Ramakrishna is the pure embodiment of purity. Thinking, lifting your mind to think about pure Ramakrishna, pure Holy Mother, or Krishna, or Rama. When you are thinking, you are lifting yourself into that level. So this is the way of purification. Selfless work. You do morning till night. Do for God. Do whatever you do for God, and then you will be happy. Not to complain, oh, there is so much dirt. How can I do it? It is extra work for me. Somebody did before me, somebody did afterwards. Nonsense. Cleaning that 2 minutes job, talking big things. That with that mind will not be clean. Mind will be clouded. You need clarification of the mind. I am doing for God. I am fortunate to do. If that is not, it is not work, it is a job. So this will not clean the mind. Cleaning mind will be used by that type of attitude. I am serving God. So it's niskama karma. There's all the 4 yogas actually that can help us. Thank you. Okay, and then another question. Is observation of the mind thought also helpful? Yes, that's a good question. Observation of my mind, of my thought is very helpful. You observe your mind, where mind goes, what type of thought is thinking. Is it thinking godly thought? Or it is going in rubbish thought? Hey, come, don't go. That's the pratyahara. In the Raja Yoga we read, Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama. These are the 4 external practice. And pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, samadhi. So our meditation, we do that. When we say mind, observe mind. Hey, I started meditating in the evening. I'll think of pure God, the Lord in my heart, and I'll think of Him. But you see, everyone experienced. Everyone meditated this evening. Tell me, how many minutes you meditated and what you meditated. Your mind went in some marketplace and it was doing his business. You don't know. Then you catch a mind. What are you doing? Oh, sorry. Mind then comes back. So similarly, what you have said is observation of the mind is very important. We have to observe our mind. We observe others' faults, but we never observe our own faults. Internally, mind, externally, our actions. Both. No? So, this is the point. Yes, observation of the mind, our thoughts are very helpful, but better to put the mind in God, because we are Vedanta students. Think of Atman. Observation of mind, many spiritual practices there. Observe your mind. Blank your mind, no thought, get out. No, I don't want to make my mind blank. I want to feel my mind saturated with joy of God. So think of God, or think of Satchidananda, think of this jewel. This book has suggested. Think of the light, effulgent light in me, jewel-like. It is all pure, soothing, blissful, and it is illumining my heart. So think constantly of positive thinking of joy, peace, happiness, or just to relate to the everything thing, it is Satchit Ananda, existence, knowledge, and bliss absolute, and plus name and form. Whatever name and form comes, you dissolve them into existence, knowledge, and bliss. Ocean of light and consciousness. Dive, put them everything. Anything comes in your mind, observe your mind. What comes? Any thought comes, push it into the ocean of consciousness. It will melt. Like as I gave the example just now, the cube, sugar cube, any size of cube comes, just put it into the ocean of consciousness. It will automatically dissolve there, and it will be all one experience of joy. So yes, that's a good idea. If we can observe our mind, that will be good help. And if we can silence our mind, that will be very good. But the means will be according to one's own practice. You can be in a Vedantic way, you can do it in a Bhakti way, but we are reading Vedanta books here, so you'll think that I am Atman. These are all my mind's play going on. Disturbance in the mind. And mind is not my goal, to pamper mind. I want to go beyond mind. I am beyond mind, beyond speech. I am Satchidananda. So let me think of my Sat Chit Ananda Swarupa, essential nature, and feel that ocean of light, ocean of joy, Vedantic way, or observe the mind, or anything comes, it is all in the name and form. Forget that. Name and form is secondary. Substance is primary. Like the animal cookies I give example, I have not given on for a long time. Animal cookies are all names and forms. Different names of animals and different shapes of animals. But the dough is the same dough. So you taste it, it will all look, the sweetness will be the same. Whether you bite one elephant or you bite one jackal. When you taste it, Satchidananda will taste the same way. So similarly, in spiritual life, do that. Thank you. Thank you for all for your joining. I don't think anyone is there, any question anymore. So hope to see you in the next. Tomorrow is the gospel. I'll give. Okay, so tomorrow we'll see you again for the gospel class at 7:30 p.m. here in the temple. And then this weekend, Sunday, of course, next day will be Swami Satyamayananda speaking on Bhagavad Gita. Saturday Ramnam. This Saturday. This Saturday Ramnam. It will be 6:30. 6:30 Ramnam. So please join and attend. And then will be Sunday, again, Swami Satyamayananda will be speaking. No? All are announced, you can find in our website. Okay? Vedanta.org. No. YouTube.com/Vedanta.org.
And what's the website?
Oh, our website, you all know. Website will be what? Vedanta.org. Thank you. Okay, Jaima, stay well. And we are safe till now. Don't worry. All this Protestant, everything went on that side. And as you have observed, we also observed on that screen. And we pray that everything goes on well. And you keep well. Jai Ma, thank you. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Harihi Om Tat Sat. Shri Ram Krishna Arpanamastu.